The scalpel hovered like a guillotine above Austin's exposed back. The fluorescent lights of the air blurring into a halo of white-hot agony as the doctor barked. "We can't operate without insurance. Your folks need to sign off." Austin's scream tore through the sterile air. Not from the pain slicing down his spine, but from the voicemail crackling on his phone. "Sorry, kiddo, but Lily's been begging for that golden retriever puppy." Family first? Right. In that instant, as his world fractured like the vertebrae grinding in his lower back, Austin realized love wasn't a straight line. It twisted, buckled, and sometimes it left you paralyzed on the cold tile floor, reaching for a hand that would never come. That was 6 months ago, in the dim underbelly of a Kansas City hospital, where the Midwest's relentless summer humidity clung to everything like regret. Austin had been 24. Fresh out of community college with a half-finished graphic design degree and dreams of sketching his way out of the flatlands. He'd been hauling crates at a warehouse gig to make ends meet. Nothing glamorous, just the grind of loading trucks under the relentless Missouri sun, when the forklift malfunctioned. One rogue pallet, the sickening crack, and suddenly his L4-L5 disc was herniated like a betrayal he couldn't unsee on the MRI scans. The pain was biblical, fire shooting down his legs, numbness creeping into his toes, nights where he lay awake staring at the water-stained ceiling of his childhood bedroom, wondering if this was God's way of saying he wasn't worth the fix. His parents, Dale and Marla, ran a modest auto repair shop in the suburbs, the kind of place where oil stains etched into concrete like family scars. Dale was all calluses and quiet beers after hours, a man who'd once fixed transmissions with the precision of a surgeon but now fixed excuses with the ease of habit. Marla fluttered around the house like a moth to a flame. Her energy poured into Lily, their golden child, the 16-year-old cheerleader with braces that sparkled like her future prom dates. Austin? He was the afterthought, the gay son they'd tolerated since he came out at 17, whispering it over lukewarm meatloaf like it was a weather report. "We love you, Austin. But God's got a plan," Marla had said, her eyes darting to the cross on the wall. They never asked about his dates, his heartbreaks, the way he'd learned to love quietly, fiercely, in a town where rainbow flags fluttered more as warnings than welcomes. The accident hit like a freight train, derailing everything. Austin spent the first week in traction, morphine dreams haunted by the warehouse boss's indifferent shrug, workers' comp's a joke, file it yourself. Bills piled up like unpaid IOUs. $15,000 for the ER visit, another $8,000 for PT sessions that did jack shit. The surgeon, a harried Indian doc named Patel with kind eyes behind wire-rimmed glasses, laid it out plain: microdiscectomy or fusion, either way, $50,000 out of pocket without insurance. "You need support, son," Patel said, clapping Austin's shoulder a little too hard. Support. The word tasted like ash. So Austin begged. Not on his knees, that came later, but over the kitchen table, voice cracking as he slid the estimate across the formica, the paper crinkling like his resolve. "It's not just pain. Can't walk straight. Can't work. This surgery. It's my shot at normal." Dale stared at his coffee mug, knuckles white. Marla hovered by the sink, twisting a dish rag. Lily bounced in from soccer practice, ponytail swinging, oblivious. "Can we talk about the puppy? The breeders in Olathe have this litter, golden retrievers. So fluffy." Marla's face lit up like Christmas. "Oh, honey." Let's look online right now. Austin's plea hung in the air. Answered. As Lily's iPad glowed with pixel-perfect pups. That night, he overheard them in the living room. It's only $1,200. Dale. Lily's grades are slipping. She needs something to cheer her up. Dale grunted assent. No mention of Austin's spine. His future unraveling thread by thread. The next morning, a squirming bundle of fur arrived in a wicker basket, yipping triumphs while Austin hobbled to the bathroom on crutches, vomit rising in his throat. Betrayal isn't a thunderclap, it's the slow drip of indifference eroding stone. Austin moved out that week, couldn't stomach the puppy's joyful barks echoing his exclusion. He crashed on a buddy's couch in the Crossroads Arts District, a gritty pocket of Kansas City where murals splashed color on brick walls and dive bars pulsed with queer undercurrents. That's where he met Theo. Theo Ramirez was 26. A barista-slash-street artist with inked forearms blooming like wildflowers and a smile that could coax sunlight from storm clouds. He worked the counter at Brood Awakening, a hipster haven with exposed ducks and playlists heavy on Hozier and Phoebe Bridgers. Austin stumbled in one rainy afternoon, back screaming from a botched bus transfer, collapsing into a corner booth with a groan that turned heads. Theo appeared like a mirage, tray balanced, eyes locking on Austin's hunched form. Rough day? Black coffee on the house. Looks like you need rocket fuel. Not rocket science. It started there, in the steam of espresso machines and the hum of indie folk. Theo didn't pry, he poured. He listened. He sketched Austin's profile on a napkin when he thought no one was looking, sharp jaw, haunted eyes. A vulnerability that Theo mirrored with his own scars, deported parents, the foster system shuffle, the quiet rage of being brown in a red state. They talked for hours that first shift, Austin's pain meds wearing off into honesty. My folks. They chose a dog over me. Literally. Theo's laugh was bittersweet. Family's a crapshoot. Mine shipped me back to Mexico at 12, said it was for the best. We're both strays. Then, strays. The word stuck. A thread pulling them closer. Theo's apartment was a third-floor walk-up in West Bottoms. Walls papered in his murals, vibrant queer icons tangled in thorns, lovers embracing under fractured skies. Austin climbed those stairs on sheer will, each step a victory, Theo's hands steady on his elbow. Easy, cowboy. I've got you. The first kiss happened on a Thursday. Rain lashing the windows. Theo's lips tasting of chai and courage. Austin melted into it. Spine forgotten in the heat of hands roaming. Bodies aligning like puzzle pieces long lost. It was messy. Fervent, Theo's stubble grazing Austin's neck. Whispers of "you're safe here," dissolving the walls Austin had built. But love in the margins is a tightrope. Austin's pain worsened. He quit the warehouse, surviving on gig economy scraps, freelance logos from his laptop, hunched over in coffee shops until his vision blurred. Theo pushed him to fight, file for aid, sue the bastards. You're not alone. They dreamed big. Theo's art show in New York. Austin illustrating queer graphic novels. A life beyond the heartland's chokehold. Nights blurred into tenderness. Theo massaging Austin's back with arnica oil. Fingers tracing the scar tissue like braille. Murmuring Spanglish poetry. Eres mi sol. Austin. Even when it's storming. Yet the betrayal festered. Lily texted sporadically, "Rufus is the best. Pics attached. Golden fur. Wagging tail, each image a knife twist. Austin blocked her, then unblocked. Guilt gnawing. His parents called once. Dale's voice gruff. Heard you're shacked up. That true? Austin's retort burned. Yeah. With someone who actually gives a damn. Silence. Then click. Marla followed up with passive-aggressive voicemails. We're worried. Honey. Church groups praying for you. Praying. As if faith could fuse a disc. The conflict ignited at Thanksgiving. Austin's resolve cracked under isolation's weight. Theo convinced him, go. Show them you're still standing. The drive home was a gauntlet, interstate blacktop slick with November frost. Austin's back throbbing in sync with the wipers. The house smelled of turkey and denial. Rufus the puppy, now a lanky adolescent, bounding underfoot, nearly tripping Austin at the door. Lily squealed, hugging him awkwardly. Bro, Rufus loves you. Wanna throw the ball? Marla bustled, eyes avoiding his cane. Dale clapped his back too hard. Good to see ya. Son. Dinner was a minefield. Small talk skittered over politics. The shop's slow season. Lily's college apps. Austin waited for the opening. Fork scraping plate. So, about the surgery. I got approved for partial Medicaid, but I need $10,000 more. It's now or chronic. Silence descended, thicker than gravy. Marla fidgeted. We've been tight. Austin. The shop's loans. Dale cleared his throat. Puppy was a one-time. Can't drain the well. Lily piped up. Innocent dagger, but Rufus's family now. He helps with my anxiety. Anxiety. Austin's laugh was hollow. And my spine? That's just a phase. Theo's hand found his under the table, unseen anchor, but the dam broke. You begged for a dog instead of this? I lay there. The wires in my back. Thinking you'd show up. But nah. Lily's tears mattered more. Marla teared up. We didn't know it was that bad. But Austin shoved back. Chair screeching. Bullshit. You knew. And you chose. He stormed out. Theo trailing. Rufus whining at the door like an apology. In the truck. Sobs racked Austin. Theo holding the wheel steady. They're not worth it. We're building our own family. But the wound suppurated, trust shattered. Love's foundation cracked. Winter clamped down. Kansas City's streets icing over like Austin's heart. Theo's art took off. A gallery scout spotted his mural series, Queer Roots. Bent but unbroken. And suddenly he was prepping for a solo show downtown. Invites poured in, collectors, critics. A queer collective buzzing with possibility. Austin tagged along. Cane clicking on gallery floors. Sketching concepts in the margins of Theo's sketches. Their nights deepened, slow dances in the kitchen to Nina Simone. Theo's breath hot on Austin's ear. I see you. All of you. The fire. Marry me someday? When the world's kinder. But shadows loomed. Austin's freelance dried up, pain flares kept him bedbound. Resentment boiling. He lashed out at Theo, you're flying high. And I'm the anchor. What if I can't keep up? Theo's eyes flashed hurt. I'm not leaving. But you gotta fight for us. The betrayal echoed, family first? Always the afterthought. Then came the call from Patel, slot opens next month. $12,000 gap, crowdfund it. Austin launched a GoFundMe. Raw honesty spilling, photos of his MRI. The puppy post mocking in the background. Begged for surgery, got a dog instead. Help a queer kid stand tall? Shares exploded, queer networks. Warehouse alums. Strangers moved by the grit. Theo amplified. His Instagram a war cry, this is our story. Fund it or fuck off. Donations trickled. Then flooded, $5,000, $8,000. A viral thread on Reddit's r/LGBT hitting 10K upvotes. Hope flickered. But high tide brings undertows. Lily showed up unannounced at Theo's door. Streaked. Rufus's leash in hand. Austin hates us. Mom's depressed, says it's her fault. Guilt twisted Austin's gut. She chose? Well, not you. She thrust an envelope, $2,000 from the shop's emergency fund. Marla's handwriting scrawled, "Forgive us." It was a bandage on a bullet wound. Austin pocketed it, hugging Lily fierce. Tell them. Try harder. She nodded. Rufus nuzzling his leg, a small thaw. The crowd fund hit $11,000. Close enough. Surgery day dawned crisp. Theo in the waiting room, sketching Austin's name in thorns and roses. The ore lights faded to black. Scalpels promise a whisper. Waking was hell, tubes. Theo's face the first anchor. Your whole baby. We did it. Recovery was a marathon. PT in a converted warehouse gym. Theo's hands guiding stretches. Their love a quiet revolution. Austin's designs bloomed, queer superheroes with bent spines. About. The gallery opening was electric. Theo's murals sold out. Austin's illustrations projected on walls. Cheers rippling like waves. But climax brewed in spring's thaw. Dale and Marla arrived at the show. Uninvited. Lily in tow. Rufus banished to the car. Awkward hellos. Then Dale's gruff, "Proud of you, son." We get it now. Marla's eyes brimmed. The puppy was stupid. You're our boy. Austin's heart warred, forgive or fracture. Theo squeezed his hand, your call. The betrayal's scar ached. But humanity whispered, families bend. Don't break. It'll take time, Austin said. Voice steady. But yeah. Coffee sometime, no dogs allowed. Pugs followed. Tentative. Lily beamed. You're my hero. Aus. As they drove home. City lights blurring. Theo kissed Austin's temple. You begged for more than surgery. You begged for us. Austin smiled. Spine straight. Love's weight a welcome burden. In America's heartland, where plains stretch endless, they carved their path, but unbroken. Two strays building a home from the wreckage. Theo's mural still hung in the gallery's window that summer. A beacon for the lost boys of Kansas City, figures entwined in defiance. Spines arched like bridges over chasms. Austin traced it with his eyes from the passenger seat. Theo humming along to a Chapel Roan track on the radio. The AC blasting cool relief against the July heat wave. Surgery had been a rebirth, 6 weeks of blurred edges. Fentanyl haze giving way to tentative steps. Then runs along the Missouri River trails where cottonwoods whispered secrets to the wind. But scars lingered, not just the surgical zipper snaking down his lumbar. Pink and puckered, but the invisible ones. Etched by indifference. Work had reshaped too. Austin's GoFundMe morphed into a side hustle, custom queer art commissions. His laptop a lifeline in Brood Awakening's corner booth. Clients trickled in, drag queens needing album covers. Couples commissioning anniversary portraits with intertwined hands defying gravity. Theo teased him mercilessly, from warehouse grunt to digital Da Vinci. "Who's the stray now?" Austin flipped him off, grinning. But the truth hummed beneath. Success felt fragile, like balancing on a mended disc. Their life wove tighter, a tapestry of small rebellions. Weekends at the Nelson Atkins Museum, sketching marble statues that mirrored their forms, David's poise, Apollo's grace. Evenings grilling burgers on Theo's fire escape, stars pricking the urban haze, beers sweating in the heat as they swapped stories. Theo opened up more, the foster mom's Bible-thumping lectures, the first boy he kissed behind a taqueria in East LA, only to get clocked by a cop for loitering. "Love's always been a risk," he'd say, thumb brushing Austin's scar. "But you're the payout." Austin's family hovered on the periphery, a half-healed fracture. Coffee meetups became routine, awkward at first. Dale nursing black drip like it was penance. Marla fluttering with pie from the diner. Lily tagged along. Rufus now a Velcro shadow. But boundaries held, no pity. No sermons. "We're trying," Marla admitted one drizzly afternoon at a park bench. Pigeons scavenging crumbs. "Therapy's helping." "Your dad's." "Processing," Dale grunted. Eyes on the plaza's fountains. "Should have been there." "For the surgery," Austin nodded. "The word's a bomb. Not cure." "Yeah. But you're here now." Forgiveness wasn't linear, it zigzagged like Austin's old pain paths. He'd wake some nights, phantom twinges shooting down his leg, and lash out, snapping at Theo over forgotten laundry, the weight of what if crushing. "What if they bail again? What if you do?" Theo never flinched, pulling him close. "I'm all in." Os. Spines and all. Their intimacy deepened in those shadows, slow, exploratory. Theo mapping Austin's body like uncharted territory. Kisses trailing the scar's ridge. Turning wound to wonder. Fall brought momentum. Theo's New York invite arrived via email, a week-long residency at a Bushwick collective. Queer artists of color spotlighted. "Come with," he urged. Eyes alight. "Your sketches could sync with mine, collab piece." Austin hesitated. The flight a gamble on his back. Funds tight. But the crowdfund's echoes lingered, a donor's note stuck. "Fly." Wings over wheels. He booked it? Heart pounding. JFK's chaos swallowed them, taxis honking, sidewalks teeming with possibility. The residency loft was a fever dream, exposed brick. Spray cans lining shelves. Walls pulsing with half-finished visions. Theodovine. Austin shadowing. Their joint piece birthing overnight, Beggar's Arch, 2 figures. One bent in plea. The other extending spine like a ladder. Colors bleeding queer spectrum. Critics buzzed, a Village Voice blurb called it raw Americana. Bent but beaming. Nights in Brooklyn were electric, dive bars in Williamsburg. Hands linked under tables. Drag shows where performers catwalked like royalty. Austin kissed Theo against a graffiti wall. City thrum drowning doubt. "This is us," he murmured. Unapologetic. But jet lag unearthed ghosts, alone in the loft while Theo networked. Austin scrolled family texts, Lily's volleyball win. Marla's, miss you, and resentment flared. A call home. Voice tight, doing big things here. Wish you'd believed sooner. Dale's paws stretched. We do now. Son. Send pics. Back in KC. The high lingered until it didn't. Austin landed a steady gig, illustrating for a queer lit mag. Deadlines stacking like cordwood. Theo's phone buzzed constant, LA Scouts. Gallery offers. Distance crept. Subtle as a slip disc. Tour the coasts, Austin pushed. Your time. Theo's grin faltered. Ours. Winter's grip tightened. Holidays looming like indictments. This Thanksgiving, they hosted neutral ground at Theo's. Turkey brined with adobo. Sides from Marla's recipe, begrudging olive branch. Tension simmered, Dale eyeing Theo's tattoos like suspect parts. Lily gushing over art mags. Rufus kennelled but his absence a joke. No pups at the table, Austin quipped. Easing laughs. Toast circled, gratitude. Growth, but undercurrent swirled. Marla pulled Austin aside. He's good for you. But Church says, he cut her off. Gentle steel, Church says a lot. We say enough. Post-feast haze. Theo and Austin collapsed on the couch. Wine loosening tongues. Your folks are thawing, Theo said. Austin snorted. Like permafrost. Slow melt. Theo's hand stilled on his thigh. What if I get that LA offer? Permanent. The room tilted. Austin's pulse spiked. But don't leave us behind. Theo's eyes darkened. Us? Or the ghost of what they took? Argument erupted. Words like shrapnel, Austin accusing abandonment. Theo firing back on ingratitude. I carried you, literally, through hell. Now you doubt. Doors slammed. Austin stormed to the bedroom. Back screaming betrayal's echo. Blown. He curled fetal. Scar throbbing. Tears hot. Phantoms whispered, unworthy. The puppy's yips mocking. Morning brought regrets frost. Theo's note on the counter, coffee's brewing. Talk. They did unraveling. I'm scared, Austin admitted. Of losing you like I lost them. Theo cupped his face. Fears the real betrayal. We're steel now, forged. Not fragile. Reconnection was fire, bodies reclaiming. Love's friction healing rifts. Spring unfurled verdant. Renewal's promise. Austin's mag spread launched, his illustrations gracing covers. Inbox flooding. Theo deferred LA, roots first. With you. They road-tripped the Ozarks. Spines aligned in a rented Jeep. Hiking trails where wildflowers defied rock. At a cliff overlook. Sunset gilding bluffs. Theo knelt, not proposal. But pledge, build with me. Empire of us. Austin pulled him up. Kiss ceiling, always. Yet climax shadowed idle. Lily called frantic. Mom's sick, pancreas. Shops tanking. Austin's world tilted, drive home blurred. Theo's hand anchor. Hospital reeked of irony, lips. Bleach. Patel's face in the hall. Family? Marla lay pale. Tube snaking. Dale hollow-eyed. Came back, he rasped. Austin gripped her hand. We're here. Vigil stretched days, nights crashing at the house. Rufus a warm weight at Austin's feet. Forgiveness's unlikely bridge. Marla rallied. whispers confessional, chose wrong. Afraid of your light, too bright for our dark. Austin's throat tightened. Lights for sharing. Mum. Theo mediated. Quiet strength. Coffees for Dale. Stories for Lily. Crisis peaked. Marla's fever spiked. Doc's grim. Austin begged, not for himself, but her, fight. Like I did. She squeezed, proud. Of you. Dawn broke, she stabilized. A second chance etched in 4 drips. In the aftermath, fractures mended crooked but sure. Austin funneled royalties to the shop. Dale hired Theo for signage. Inks bridging gaps. Lily interned at the mag. Sketches blooming. Rufus? Family mascot? Leash walks with Austin, a ritual of release. Summer solstice? They gathered at the river, picnic sprawl. Beers chilling. Theo's guitar strumming folk anthems. Austin raised a toast to spines, broken, bolted back. Laughter rippled. Love's current carrying. In America's vast middle, where heartlands hide heartaches, Austin stood tall, not despite the beg, but through it, a man remade, loved wholly, begging no more. The river's murmur had become their lullaby that summer. The Missouri's lazy bend, a mirror for Austin's mending soul. Theo's guitar lay propped against a cooler, strings still humming from that solstice toast, as fireflies sparked like errant prayers in the twilight. Austin leaned into Theo's side, the scar on his back a faint itch under his tank top, a reminder that healing wasn't erasure but evolution. Marla, frail but fierce from her sickbed victory, passed a Tupperware of her ambrosia salad, mini marshmallows bobbing like buoys in whipped cream seas. Can't have you wasting away on that city food. Dale chuckled. A rare rumble. Cracking a beer for Theo, good arm on those signs. Shops pulling double cents. Lily sprawled nearby. Sketching Rufus midfetch on her sketchpad, Austin's influence. Her lines tentative but true. The puppy, now a gangly teen terrorizing sticks, flopped belly up in the grass. Paws twitching dreams. No one mentioned the basket arrival, the $1,200 choice that had nearly unspooled them all. Instead, stories flowed. Dale's wild 80s road trips. Marla's Dine escapadas. Theo weaving tales of abuelas tamales and border crossings under moonlit stars. Austin listened. Heartful. The old ache a distant echo. This was family, for finally fitting. But life's undercurrents don't still for long. August heat baked the plains. Kansas City's skyline shimmering like a mirage as Austin's career crested. The lit mag gig evolved. A graphic novel contract? Spinal tapestry, queer survivors threading pain into power. Austin's art bleeding vulnerability onto pages. Deadlines loomed. Theo's freelance murals padding their nest egg for a down payment on a Westport bungalow. Gingerbread trim and a yard for future strays. Our empire, Theo murmured one dawn. Coffee steaming as they plotted floor plans on napkins. Austin traced Theo's knuckles, with room for ghosts. They've earned a corner. Theo's deference to roots paid dividends. A local collective tapped him for a pride float design. Rainbows rioting in geometric fury. They worked side by side in the loft, now their studio, paint splattered and sweat slick. Breaks dissolving into grapples on the drop cloth. Love's mess mirroring art's chaos. You're my muse, Theo growled, nipping Austin's ear. Hands roaming the scar like sacred text. Austin arched. Breath hitching, prove it. They did. Bodies a canvas of claim. Reclaiming what betrayal tried to steal. Fall's palette turned. Leaves carpeting streets in crimson confessions. Marla's checkups cleared. She volunteered at the Queer Youth Center. Her church cross traded for ally pins. Dale fixed Austin's Jeep gratis. Gruff affection in torque wrenches. Lily's sketches sharpened, Austin mentored. Their sibling bond a bridge over old abysses. You taught me to see, she said one crisp afternoon. Charcoal smudging her fingers as they drew urban foxes in Loose Park. The hurt. The hope. He ruffled her hair. We all beg sometimes. Look. It's the standing that counts. Yet harmony harbors hubris. The novel's launch party loomed, a swanky affair at the Kaufman Center. Donors in tuxes. Critics circling like hawks. Austin fretted fittings. Theo ironing his shirt with exaggerated flair. You'll slay. Cowboy. Scar and all. Invites extended family-wide. RSVPs trickled. Lily yes. Marla/Dale maybe. Big night, Dale texted. Austin's reply, be there. The gala glittered, chandeliers dripping light. Champagne flutes clinking toasts. Austin's booth thrummed, signings. Hugs from fans who'd crowdfunded his spine. Your story saved me, a trans kid whispered. Eyes bright. Theo hovered proud. Arms slung casual. But his phone vibrated insistent. Hey again. A gallery director's voicemail. Irresistible. Ramirez. Relocate. Austin caught the tail. Heart stuttering. Tell me. Theo pocketed it. Later. Your night. But doubt seeded. Sprouting in the afterglow drive home. City light streaking. You heard. Austin gripped the wheel. And? Theo sighed. It's huge. But uprooting. The silence stretched. Thick as the scars pull. Empire's here, Austin said. We built it. Theo's nod was shadowed. Yeah. But dreams don't pause. Fissures widen subtle. Theo's late nights at the Collective. Sketches veering West Coast vibrant. Austin buried in edits. Rufus walks with Lily a solace. Marla sensed, talk it out. Punny. Love's a repair job. He tried, dinners devolving to deflections. Beds cooling with unspoken. Don't become them, Austin snapped one frost-laced evening. Words venom. Theo recoiled. Abandon you? That's your ghost talking. Door slam. Theo crashed at a friend's. Hurt hollowed Austin. Night scrolling old voicemails, parents' apologies. Theo's, I love you Lily. Begging echoed, for surgery. For belief. Now for this. Dawn found him at the river. Kane retired but crutch in spirit. Stones skipping regrets. Theo appeared. Coffee peace offering, ran. Stupid. They talked till noon, fears flayed. Futures frank. LA's a visit, Theo vowed. Scout. Not surrender. Austin exhaled. Promise. Seal in kisses. Raw renewal. Winter whispered warnings. Holidays healed. Christmas at the house. Tree twinkling with queer ornaments Austin crafted. Rainbow vertebrae dangling defiant. Gifts exchanged. Theo's leather jacket for Austin. Etched unbent. Marla's quilt. Stitches of amends. Lily's novel cameo thrilled her. Dale's toast slurred sentimental. To spines. And Sons. New Year's Eve. They rang in at a queer club. bodies pulsing. Confetti storm. Theo pulled Austin to the floor. Slow grind amid frenzy. This year, we conquer. But fate's script twists. January's gale brought Theo's offer formal, 6-figure advance. Relocation clause. Non-negotiable, the email stark. Theo's face ashen over breakfast. What now? Conflict crested. A tidal wrench. Austin's novel tour booked. Chicago. Austin, irony. Coasts colliding. Go, he urged. Voice steel masking quake. I'll join gaps. Theo searched his eyes. No ghosts. None. But betrayal's specter loomed, family's choice. Now love's gamble. Theo departed February. Airport hub crushing, video every night. Empire waits. Austin waved till gates swallowed. Then shattered in the lot, sobs racking. Scars screaming sympathy. Home echoed empty, Rufus's whine a chorus. Marla called, breathe. Son. Roots hold. Tidid dives into tour prep. Sketches channeling ache into art. Months blurred, Theo's texts vibrant, sunsets over Santa Monica. Murals blooming, but distance diluted. Calls crackling static. Austin's reading soared. Fans chanting unbent, yet bedsheets chilled solo. Lily visited, he's all in. Like you taught. Doubt nod, puppy over plea. Now miles over us? Climax crashed spring equinox. Tours LA stop, Austin on a bookstore stage. Voice cracking mid-reading, the beg that broke me, when Theo burst in. Piflect. Eyes wild. Mic drop, Austin vaulted down. Crowd blurring. Guiteugape. Gallery be damned. You're my coast. Kiss amid applause. Saltsweet. Ceiling. Back in KC. They rebuilt, bungalow bought. Studio walls expanding murals of merged dreams. Marla's health held, Dale's shop thrived on their designs. Lily's portfolio burst. Rufus a fixture in family frames. Summer solstice redux, river picnic. Guitar strumming. Toasts to trials transcended. Spine sovereign. Raised his glass, to begging done. To us, eternal arch. Love's light bent but beamed. In America's resilient heart. Where strays find spine in each other's arms. Solstice sun dipped low that year. Painting the Missouri in strokes of molten gold. As if the river itself approved their hard-won peace. Austin's glass, sweat-beaded PBR, clinked against Theo's craft IPA. The sound a punctuation to vows unspoken. Around the blanket sprawl. Family fractalized into something fiercer than blood, Marla portioning potato salad with renewed vigor. Her pancreas a footnote now, Dale tossing a frisbee to Rufus. The dog's joyful bounds erasing old indictments, Lily capturing it all in quicksilver sketches. Her art school acceptance letter folded in her pocket like a talisman. To arches, Austin echoed. Theo's arm a warm weight across his shoulders. Fingers drumming the scar's ridge in rhythmic reassurance. No phantoms crashed this feast, only fireflies. Flickering like the hope they'd kindled from ash. The bungalow settled around them like a glove, Victorian bones rehabbed with queer flair, murals crawling up stairwells. Austin's graphic novel pages pinned to fridge like manifestos. A backyard studio where Theo's spray cans hissed symphonies. Nights there were sacrament, dinner by candlelight. Theo's era's con pollo steaming. Austin's feet in his lap under the oak table scavenged from a Westport flea. Taste the empire, Theo'd grin. feeding him bites. Spice lingering on lips that met in lazy afterglow. Austin's back. Once a trader's map. Now sang only in rare twinges, weather shifts. Heavy lifts, reminders to cherish the carry. Career currents converged. Austin's Spinal Tapestry hit bestseller lists. Indie shelves in every Midwestern mall. Fan mail pouring. Letters from kids with chronic invisible ills. Queer spines bowed but unbowed. He toured lighter now, podcasts from the home office. Virtual signings syncing with Theo's cross-country gigs. Theo balanced coasts, LA Murals Quarterly. KC Heartland anchoring. Their collab pieces, Beggar's Bridge series, fetching gallery prices that padded the 401k. We're the American Dream. Twisted edition, Theo quipped one dawn. Scrolling bids on his phone while Austin sketched beside. Coffee mugs steaming solidarity. Family filaments strengthened. Threads of amends weaving tight. Marla joined a PFLAG chapter. Her church pew swapped for panel discussions. Voice steady, I chose fear once. Won't again. Dale's gruff thawed to gestures, oil changes for the Jeep. A father-son fishing trip where lures tangled less than tongues. Proud. Os. Of the standing. Lily bloomed, high school valedictorian. Her speech a nod to brothers of choice, Rufus mascot in cap and gown pics. Visits ritualized, Sunday suppers. Puppy playdates. Austin teaching her InDesign tricks over ice cream cones dripping in the heat. Yet humanity's arc bends toward complexity. Not closure. Fall's harvest moon brought a harvest of its own. Theo's abuela. Deported years back. Green card approved, reunification a miracle in red tape seas. Flights booked. Austin tagging along to LAX. Heart swelling at the terminal reunion, abuela's tears. Theo's sobs muffled in her shoulder. Stories spilling over Pozole in a Pico bungalow. Family's a verb, abuela said. Patting Austin's hand. Her English accented but eyes clear. You do it? Me, Joe. He nodded. Scar humming approval. Winter's hush deepened intimacies. Holiday cards flooded, fans' art echoing Austin's. Theo's holiday markets buzzing with queer crafts. Christmas Eve. Snow blanketing Westport. They strung lights on the bungalow's gingerbread eaves. Rufus batting tinsel like prey. Inside. Tree aglow with ornaments. A tiny spine keychain from Patel. A puppy plush lily stitched ironic. Theo's gift unwrapped slow, a leather-bound journal. Pages pre-sketched with their forms entwined. For the next beg, he whispered. Austin's counter, custom rings. Matte black bands etched, unbent, not marriage, but marker. Fingers laced. They slipped them on by firelight. Vows in the flicker. Spring's thaw unearthed undergrowth. Austin's novel sequel Brood, fracture lines, delving betrayals aftershocks. Therapy sessions fictionalized raw. Research pulled him inward, support groups at the youth center. Stories mirroring his, parents prioritizing normal sibs. Queer kids bartered for conformity. One night, post-meeting, he unloaded on Theo, it's not just us. It's epidemic. Theo's response, a community mural project? Spine Collective, walls in the crossroads? Survivors' stories spray-painted bold. They rallied, Lily on ladders. Marla mixing paints. Dale hauling supplies. Dale's brushstroke hesitant, this helps. Austin clapped his back, heels. Climax crested unbidden. A storm front rolling unexpected. June's Pride Parade. Their float, Theo's design. Austin's illustrations, a chariot of arches. Bent figures rising rainbow. Crowds cheered. But midway, a counter-protest snarled, signs scrawled, abomination, chants venomous. Theo shielded Austin instinctively. Arm barring, a bottle sailed, shattering at their feet. Chaos swirled, cops converging, medics on standby, but a protester lunged. Face twisted, freak. Theo shoved back. Protective fury, scuffle ensued. Arrests flashing. Backlash bit, news cycles spun, pride violence, Theo's name dragged. Galleries waffling contracts. Austin's publisher panicked. Tone it down. Rage boiled. Austin's op-ed fired back. Betrayal's the real violence. Families choosing silence. Systems choosing sides. We're begging no more, we're building. It went viral. Shares surging. Supporters rallying. Theo's arraignment? Dropped, self-defense clear, but the scar ran fresh. Worth it? He asked. Bruises blooming on his ribs. Austin held him. Every arch is. They channeled, mural expanded. A betrayal wall, subsection. Anonymous pleas etched in neon. Donors poured. Therapy funds for queer youth. Spines supported literal and lit. Marla testified at City Hall. My son begged once. Now he leads. Dale nodded beside. Damn right. Summer zenith. Solstice circle complete. River gathering. Expanded, youth center kids joining. Sketches shared. Rufus romping universal. Toasts layered, to fractures mended. To protests weathered. To love's unyielding line. Theo's guitar wove melody. Austin's voice harmonizing low, lyrics born of beg. Now ballad. As stars wheeled overhead, Austin leaned into Theo. Rings glinting. Family a constellation around. In America's mosaic heart, where pleas echo plains wide, they'd begged for spine and found it in each other. In the human bend toward light. No puppies eclipse this, only horizons. Plus, embraced.